graduate as fast as soon as possible. And number 3 is to party as hard as possible.
I guess like when let's kind of shift gears a bit more towards maybe more towards your younger life and then college life as well as up to your career, and then now you have your own family. How do you kind of balance, or at least like what was the experience like before in college when it comes to focusing on school, and up until now when now you have your family and you have to balance this career and family aspect?
So both of us are the same. Both of us we are INTJ, so we like to plan. So basically, when I was in high from elementary school to high school to college to grad school, I plan everything. And in my life at that time, everything went according to plan. So basically, but then I learned after that life does not always goes to plan. When I graduated at the height of the recession, so getting back to my younger days, I think my grades were okay. I mean, in elementary, when I was in elementary school, I was like barely making it. So, and I think based on the discussion with my teacher, seems like I get bored. Then again, I got bored easily, and I don't want to pay attention to school. But then when I was in high school, my grades shot up drastically. So it was an easy sailing for me, basically. And same thing when I was in college. In the freshman and sophomore year, I don't pay attention to any of those because those are like I don't think those are necessary, like history and math and whatever. But in my junior and senior years, then my grades shot up because I like the topics about business and everything. Even though not all of them are easy, but I like them. A funny story about my college is that basically my parents are working parents, basically. So I know that they don't have a lot. Yeah, they just have enough for me to go to school in the States. So at the time, a lot of my friends are telling me like, Berry, why don't we get the part-time job? Then again, in the States, you can only do 20 hours of part-time work, right? You cannot do full-time. So I calculated, like, okay, 20 hours. At the time, the minimum wage was like $5. How much is it now?
13, 12.
13? Oh, nice. That's
per
nice.
hour.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. At the time, it was like $4.50 or something. So I calculated. And then I decided that if I graduated a year early, I would save up my parents a lot more than I graduated in 4 years and working part-time the whole 4 years. So I figured that out, and then so at the time I was like, okay, so my objective in college is just basically 3 things: to improve my English, which is now getting rusty again, unfortunately.
Oh, that was fine.
Okay, thanks. And then second thing is to graduate as fast as soon as possible. And number 3 is to party as hard as possible. Those are my three objectives in my undergrad.
So did you achieve number 3 or what?
Well, all of them should be all of them. Those are all my 3 objectives that I have to achieve. So that's why in this thing in the second year I moved to a fraternity house. If you guys know.
Which fraternity?
Alpha Kappa Lambda. So it's brothers for life. So basically, so it's like party hard from Thursday night till Saturday night. Basically,
wow.
Those are things. While also juggling between studying as well. Well, they have it easy because they graduate. I mean, my frat boys, my frat brothers, they graduated in like 5 years or 6 years. I mean, I have a goal I have a train to catch, basically.
So for example, if you were to go back to that house.
Yeah.
Is this house still there right now?
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yes,
so would you be able to go back there and then like they search up your database? You have to maybe do the signals or something.
Yeah, I'm still. I still remember all the crazy stories in the house. So
would you
I
be
don't know
able
if I can tell you that. No.
Yeah. But would you be able to get in the house? Like for example, if you were to go in the front, like, hey, I was used to that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So you have to do. There's like some signal to it or something.
No. There's no special signal. But well, we have a picture of every year on the house.
Oh really?
So I can just tell them I'm Psi 484. That's my number, Psi 484, and they can check it out, and there should be my picture there with the long hair and stuff.
Long hair.
Yeah, at the time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's my undergrad, and then during my grad school, I told you guys beforehand, I cannot speed up my study because it has to be for 4 semesters, right, for grad school. So so I applied for when I applied for grad school, I also applied for graduate assistantship. But at the time, it was the same university. So at the time, the admission said to me like, you graduated only with 2.95 GPA, so not even 3. So yeah, because then again, my objective is not getting good grades, right? Just graduate as fast as possible. So I did that. So your GPA is only 2.95. I don't even think you can follow the grad school program, and you want to do that while working part-time. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure I can do that. I can do it. And it's like, no, I'll see your first semester's GPA. Then after that, if you make it good, then you can apply. So I think my first semester was like 3.7 something. So I proved them,
It's a big jump.
Yeah, and then after that, in the States, you have in graduate assistantship, you have a teaching assistant or research assistant. A lot of couple of Indonesian friends, they suggested, or international students, they suggested research assistant because it's easier. You don't have to meet a lot of people and stuff, and you don't actually work 20 hours, even though you get paid 20 hours. Depends on the professor assigning you a job. So, and then again, probably you'll learn by now, I don't like to play it safe. So it's like, the hell with it. I'm taking teaching assistant job. So I want to teach those. I wanna teach those American students. This is how we do things. So but then again, the admissions called me up and they told me there's an opening for night and weekend manager at the hotel owned by the university. So and I said like, yeah, I'm up for a challenge, so I took that. Yeah. So that's basically my story. What about you guys?
All right.
Tell me all the crazy stories.
Yeah. So me and Ray went to UC Berkeley together, and then so we came in. I think the first time that Ray was in welcoming event of UC Berkeley, and I remember this guy came up with a polo shirt. I was wearing a polo shirt too, so I was like, oh, interesting.
You guys are in the same year?
Yeah, same year.
Oh, okay.
What did you think in college?
Honestly, it seems like Berry, you didn't regret anything in college, did you?
Not at all, dude.
No. Yeah, I think for me, actually, I mean, live life with no regrets. But at least for me, looking back, I did have some regrets, and I wish I've done some things differently. I think my mindset of entering college, it was all about how can I get like better grades? How can I get out of college making the most out of the buck, right? I mean, parents have really spent so much money to bring you to a good college and so overseas. Like, how can you make sure you make the most out of it? And then, of course, like repay it back to them, right? And my mindset back then is all about, in order to do that, I need to get good grades. And when I have good grades, good experience, like extracurriculars there, then I'll be able to get a good job, like high-paying job, and then I'll be able to pay them back, right? So the thinking was always like that from the start. And it was always about, okay, like, study over having fun. I think that was the mindset in the start, right? And it was always just like studying for me, my first year, second year, third year. But I think over time also got a chance to meet Abi, so he, I think brought.
The first year too, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Ray's
still.
first experience.
Yeah, exactly. But I still think for me it was too much. I focused too much on studying, but I should have saw things more holistically, right? It's not always sometimes about your GPA or what grades you have. It's actually about more of the holistic experience, like not studying all the time, but getting those other experiences, whether trying to make your own startup even during college, right? Doing things that you might not have time to do when now you're working.
Yeah,
and honestly, like college life is just 4 years. Then maybe Paberi you had 2 years of grad school, but it's just 4 years of your time, and the rest will be working, right? So, I think again maybe like it's person by person, but for me when I look back, I would have like, I guess still studied hard, but don't treat that as my everything, and have more of a balance, right? Like have fun, as Paberi mentioned. Also explore other things, explore my passions. So play more soccer, for example, or like even try to make a startup, or try all these other different things that you can do in college. I think that's for me.
What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no, I think definitely for me, it was a big part about knowing and discovering myself. I think like more than anything, I think that's definitely one of the things that if I had to sum up kind of one of my college experiences, to really like knowing myself and discovering myself. And then when it comes to, I think even from high school into college, I saw that everything as kind of a stepping stone to building good habits, right? Because I think the way I live my life in college is the way I kind of want to live for the rest of my life too. So it's not just about, and even high school, so it's not just about work is my everything. I'm going to study all day in the library, spend all weekends there. But it's also not all about partying and having fun all the time. I really believe there's a balance between everything. And then so I've always had the mindset of like, all right, you're in college, you're there to learn. So the priority is going to be, of course, studying. It's going to be on midterms, but you also want to be able to grow, right? Not just in the classroom. You should actually be growing outside the classroom more than you are inside the lecture hall, in my opinion. There should be a lot of learning and done outside. And then a big part of that is also, spending time with people, making good memories. So I think definitely I was really happy with the way I was able to balance everything, because I felt like I made really good memories with my friends. I was able to do so some crazy things as well that I didn't imagine I would be doing. And then of course, thank God, like I'm safe and sound here now. I'm still here. And then so of course, and at the same time, I did my best in school. And I think at the end of the day, it's also good because I see that as both like complementary things too, right? You want to be able to, when you work hard, you want to be able to have good nights, good memories in order to recharge for the next week. And that's the way I still try to live right now. And then so I think all those things, all those habits that I learned before, I can really apply it to my life. But I think I would say one of the things that I do wish I did more is a bit similar to Ray, but it's more towards taking chances and taking risks. And then what I mean by that is like, being able to try new things. I think I was definitely one of those guys that's pretty much in their comfort zone. And then so it took me some time to push for me to try different things, try new activities, or meeting certain people. And then I think that's definitely something that I wish I did. I was more open-minded to, I think, more than anything. Of course, knowing my limits, but I think at the end of the day, I discovered that over time, but I think if I discovered it sooner, it'd definitely be an impact. But again, no regrets. I think I was a learning experience from then, and it's still a learning experience now.
Interesting. You guys mentioned about something you wish you've done. Actually, I think in the past couple of months, I was thinking. There's some things that I wish I should have done more when I was in college. It was in the past couple of months. I mean, I try a lot of things like taking a bus to other cities, like to Chicago, which is not a nice experience. Don't take a bus. Don't take a bus outside.
Where were you again? Ohio, right?
Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah. So it was like 6-hour drive with a bunch of unscrupulous individuals. You don't want to take that. But I also took Amtrak to New York. So to get an experience, it costs the same as a plane flight to New York, but I just want to feel different things. But there are things that I'd like, probably less of partying, but more into to enjoying the outdoors. I think for me, because one of the things beside that, learning English, is also one of my objectives is to soak up the American experience. So that's why I joined Fred. That's why a lot of my friends are the locals, friends. So including soaking up experience about how do you interact with locals, how do you feel like locals, and that's why whenever now I'm traveling out of town, maybe out of country for business or for pleasure, I like to mingle, to feel what it feels like to be a local.
Yeah, mixing in the culture.
Yeah, right? Mixing in the culture. So my wife is always teasing me like, yeah, you're taking a bus in Thailand, but I don't see you taking a bus in Jakarta. It's like, yeah, that's right. Yes. So, but it's nice to try out new things, and I wish I should have done more outdoors when I was in college.
Yeah.